for jumping on this little call. So tell me, who's Tony? Who are you, and what do you do?
Okay. Look, I'm Tony's 57-year-old South Australian. Work as a general manager. Obviously, worked since 15, since leaving school. Done okay, I suppose, in life. Was married, 3 kids. Now, not married, still have 3 kids. All adults, of course, and a great relationship with my ex-wife. So that's me in a nutshell.
Sure. So in which case, so how did you find out about me? I suppose Bulletproof Wealth and the coaching. How did that all happen?
Specifically, I found your ad through social media. I think it was Instagram.
Yep.
However, in saying that, I'd been on a journey for approximately 2 years because, as I said, I'm 57. I'm looking forward to, well, retirement. I don't know. No longer selling my time for money. And so I knew I needed to do something to transition that phase, and I knew I needed some help. My background, I've got an MBA and I'm business smart and things like that, but what you do is very unique, and since we've been working together, it's shown me how unique that is, and it's a very different skill set. So I've been on a journey for approximately 2 years trying to find someone to help me locally, phone calls, internet, social media, personal referrals from friends, colleagues, whatnot, and most of the online stuff, they want to sell you a course or product. They really can't help you. They're just going to sell you a whole lot of dreams and really not help you. And then you meet some financial planners that are based in the corner shop of the shopping centre, and it's not really my jam either. So when I found you through your advertisement, and we initially spoke, and I went through the masterclass, I thought, well, this is something pretty good, and obviously we spoke further, and here we are now.
Yeah,
and it's been a great journey so far.
So when you mentioned what was going on for you, what was kind of missing with it all, in the missing piece of the puzzle in Tony's financial world, so to speak?
Yeah, as I said to you, I couldn't see the forest for the trees. So I knew I had certain things in place, and I knew, investment properties, my own property, superannuation, not too bad, money in the bank, those sorts of things. But I really didn't know how I was going to turn this into where I need to be in 3 to 5 to 8 years. I really had a look at it, and I just thought, well, okay, I'll just keep plodding along, paying lots of tax, contributing into super, maybe buy another property, maybe make some good money on the one that I'm holding, or the ones that I'm holding, and cross your fingers. But I thought there's got to be more to it than that. There's got to be smarter ways, and that's what we've been able to map out, a bit of a path. So, well, actually more than a bit of a path, a definite path, I should say.
But what concerns or doubts did you have about finally biting the bullet with me?
I wanted to not spend the money for the right sort of professional skills, but you get to that point and where you've got to make that commitment. And I can assure anyone moving forward, that's the least of your worries. You get your money back very quickly. But there was that bit of the fear of the unknown. As I spoke to you, I just said to her, right, this is it. You've found nothing better out there. You've every other time I'd spoken to somebody or looked at a product, it was dismissed pretty quickly. The service that you provide is far more substantial.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do have those initial concerns, but looking back, just in those weeks, that's the least of my concerns now.
Yeah, okay.
It's just taking that first step. It's like anything, whether you're going to change jobs, change careers, move interstate, move overseas for work, whatever. It's just that initial step. There's always some apprehension there, and it's nothing to be concerned about.
Yeah, okay, all right. In which case, then. You mentioned then you've seen a few shifts. You talked about the vision. So what are the significant changes, I suppose, have you noticed since we've been working together? And what's happened?
I have a much clearer idea of the pathway that I'm going to take as we've fleshed that out, and there's still more detail to be done on that. But I have a clear idea of, yes, there's an end goal, and that end goal is not the end. That is just transitioning into other things. So that I've got that clarity. I've got more clarity around what I want, because what I thought I wanted and some of the things I didn't know I wanted are now very clear and apparent to me. So
Yeah, cool. And without
that's
giving,
been the big change.
thanks, Tony. Without giving away some numbers, because that's private and private and personal.
Yeah.
Um, my, I think you mentioned early on with our one, when I think in the second or third session, I think we went through a process, and you were talking about you couldn't see the wood for the trees, and something just went and you could see the end goal, and you said you said something like, "Well, there's the money back right there."
Yeah, and that's exactly what I said. I said you've made your money.
Yeah,
You made your money there. So I've got my investment. At the end of that session, I had 10 times the money I paid.
yeah, right, okay.
You know, and I mean, obviously, it will take time to realise that, but the realisation of that money is all but guaranteed, short of a nuclear disaster.
Yeah, sure. So you had all this stuff going on beforehand, and then we did the vision work. You're a bit apprehensive, but then you could see, okay, this is important, and then you're going, oh, not only is it up here, I can actually see the tangible thing now, and it's like well, let's be fair, so it's way more than 10 times your money back right there anyway, isn't it? But we won't do the number crunching on it. But
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
yeah, okay. So I guess the thing is, look, would you recommend this process, this wealth coaching, because it is different, it is a bit unique? Would you recommend this process to family and friends, for example?
Absolutely. I have no hesitation in recommending it to anybody.
Yeah,
Anybody that's looking for something and they're not happy with, regardless of what they've achieved, if they're not happy and they just want to tweak it a bit more or put a shine on it, definitely this is the way to go. Your knowledge, your connections, your understanding of people are just is tremendous. Your taxation knowledge, your superannuation knowledge, your insurance knowledge, different ways of doing things. You look at things very differently. You're sort of like that jacket that I wore last winter when I went out for a few beers, and I'm about to put it on in a couple of weeks, and I'll put my hand in the pocket, and there'll be $100 note in there, and you just provide value that you don't even know you've got.
appreciate that. We'll look forward to continuing where to beyond this, because we've also got some interesting stuff to unpack about what's next. So if you watch this, I appreciate your time. Thank you, Tony. And let's just say, watch this space. This guy's going somewhere. So thank you.
Thanks, mate. All the